this was my turning point. This was, right, I need to change this. And I am a very organised and structured person. I drew out this 5-point presentation of what steps I needed to take. Right, okay, I need to take this medication, I need to do this, and I need to do that. But what I was suffering with my emotions was premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And again, I was blessed with a very rare illness. So the doctors had never heard of it, gynecologists had never heard of it. There was a very few people. And I used to think, if a gynecologist has not heard of this, surely this is like a mechanic not knowing what a spanner is. Like, surely they are there to go and learn about these things. So Catherine sat with me one time, and through the connection of Catherine and her mum working with a gynecologist, I was actually able to see an amazing surgeon. And due to the scale and severity of what I was experiencing, I actually paid private for my hysterectomy because there was a 2-year waiting list, and I thought, I do not have 2 years of experiencing what I am going through. So I paid, and yeah, the moment I was laid there on the surgeon's table, I said to myself, I made a promise, I made an intention to the universe that when I wake up, I am going to be a completely different person than the person that I was. I was a poorly person. I was experiencing life in a way that it should not have been experienced. And I promised myself, when you wake up, you are going to be vibrant, you are going to be energetic, and you are going to experience life like you never had before. And the universe did not disappoint. And obviously I didn't wake up and it was a miraculous recovery, but it just so happened that one of my illnesses was making the other one worse, but it just so happened that it kind of alleviated both of them. So since 2021, I have not had a transfusion since. At one point I was having them every 6 weeks, and now I feel more energy and more oxygen in my lungs than I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm able to speak so fast for people sometimes. They're like, can you just say that again? So this was now this was my awakening. I was now on my healing journey. So again, bring full power into this. I was drinking this every day, obviously to raise my vibration. I was coming to these amazing ceremonies of face cacao ceremonies, and Amy and Catherine were doing the gateway to the higher self. I was doing a lot of healing at home. I was journaling, and yeah, in the end I met my twin flame through this experience. My relationship with my son is now absolutely next level. At one point I didn't even want to go pick him up from nursery. It was awful, and I understand now that I had to experience everything that I went through to be the person that I am today, because everything that I bring in my coaching, my mentoring, being able to heal myself, is everything I've experienced in my lifetime. And it is the universal law of polarity. To understand the lightness, you must have to have experienced the darkness. How would you know if you were in lightness unless you have never felt the darkness before? So, whereas before I had this victim mindset, and now I'm like, no, that was my story. It has made me who I am today. So I say to you now, if you are in a situation where you feel like you are in darkness, and you feel like there is no way out whatsoever, there is light in the tunnel. You are the lightness. You are the light in that tunnel. But you have to find the light within yourself. You have to illuminate your own darkness. So I hope you have taken inspiration from my story of how I became here today.
Just wanting to share something. Just wanting to share something with you. You must understand that there is an importance in experiencing things that sometimes feel very hard to bear. Whatever you are going through in this life, in this reality, it is trying to help you to grow into the highest version of yourself in this reality. Do not doubt your path. Do not regret anything that has ever happened. Everything happens exactly as it's meant to. There is no, it should have been this way, or if it had been that way, it would have been different. no, 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 no. You are exactly where you're meant to be right now in this moment. And making the decision to be here is you shedding a skin, is you growing and evolving your consciousness, is you stepping up and saying, yes, I want to become the highest version of myself. And I want to say thank you to every single one of you for making the effort and giving the time to be here. Just to quickly say that we met in 2006. We had a best friend called Kat Everson, and we used to go raving to many different events with Amy, to hardcore, bouncy house, all these different places. I was a dancer and a multi-skilled entertainer for 18 years. And Kat was an exceptional friend, one of a kind. She passed away in 2016 with Crohn's disease. Unfortunately, she didn't take care of herself. And in 2000, we kind of used to get together a lot in house parties and things. And in 2019, Jenny reached out to me and said she was going through a spiritual awakening. Now, I've been on my spiritual path since 2010, and in 2014, I gave birth to my higher self. My higher self is called Tamani, and I literally felt like I was going through a birth process when she came into my vessel, which is another story, right? So, 2016, you reached out. 2019, sorry, Catherine passed away. We met at the funeral again. 2019, Jenny reached out, going through a spiritual awakening, went for a meal, and we have been best friends ever since. And just to say, because this is something new, something that no one has heard before, we are Siamestic twins. We are the same energy split into two vessels. We are the same energetic blueprint. There are 67 energetic twins, Siamestic twins, in this life, on this earth, in this reality, and we are number 66. Ask me why I know this. We have done many ceremonies together. I am a channel, and I open myself and allow higher beings to use my vessel. I can access the quantum field, and I am a receiver of information. I am sharing this with you because this is an important part of the next phase of our journey. So, we are welcoming you as Siamestic twins. Welcome.
So, as Catherine said, we were experiencing many ceremonies together, and little Miss All-Seeing Eye is obviously always bringing out lots of information. And, many times she'll be sat there and she's like, we are, an energetic blueprint of each other. You are a channel, we are this. And obviously I'd sit there and I'd just be like nodding, like, okay, yeah, She's like, we are the same vibration. And I think, oh, cute, our best friends, same vibe, same tribe. I didn't get it. I really didn't get it, because obviously what she was seeing and hearing and experiencing in her head was, not sitting as well with me as what she would probably have liked it to be delivered. And fast forward a little bit, we were carrying on, a few more of these ceremonies, and I started to sort of wake up to really what she was saying. And we were in the middle of a ceremony, and I just nipped off to the next door room, and next minute I could feel energy in front of me. And I felt my crown chakra open, and it felt very cold there. And I could hear Catherine doing light language in my bedroom, and I could feel the vibrations in my throat. And what she was saying in my bedroom was pouring out of her mouth, out of my mouth. And I kind of walked out the bathroom like, Catherine, I think you've activated me as a channel. And if you've seen the scene out in between us where Will's on the stage at a concert, that's how it kind of felt. I was just like, what? But Catherine obviously has spoken light language to me before, when, many years when we met, and I'm a non-judgmental person. I have heard a lot of things, I've seen a lot of things, and obviously, she used to bring out this beautiful light language. And obviously on one side, my higher self, Shamu Ma, was like, yeah! And on the other side, Jenny's logical brain going, is she making that up? I was like, I didn't understand it. And the moment that I walked out the bathroom and I was like, hi, see, and I was like, I get it, right, okay, we are Siamestic twins. And on many occasions we've had these ceremonies, and this actually began with Activation Amy. And if you remember rightly, so it was the 25th of November 2022, and I went for this activation with Amy, and obviously we did it all and everything, and I did start to say a little bit of light language, but it sounded like Catherine's. So I said to Amy, I'm just copying Catherine, and so I stopped myself, and Amy was obviously very nice, she explained, there's a lot of frequencies out there, and sometimes we do sound like other people's, but in my head, I was just copying my best friend. So I kind of stopped. But the day after my activation, so your throat chakra is blue. The day after my activation, I was driving my son to school and my eyes were snatching to everything blue. A blue bin, a blue car, a blue flower. So I texted Amy, I was like, my subconscious is telling me I am activated. But my brain was telling myself, we're making it up, we're making it up. But one thing that I couldn't deny, that when I was driving around and listening to music, is my hands started to move like it's never really done before. And again, I would question myself, am I doing that? Or is it doing that? But as time has gone on, since I had my activation and since this energy has started to move through me a lot more, my arms now start moving around like this. And we do channel differently, whereas you channel with your psychic mediumship and giving readings. Mine works more in the sense of when I'm doing my coaching, my client comes to me, when they start to tell me a story, they can tell me a tenth of the story, and my channeling, my brain starts to backfill the rest of the story, and I can offer gifts and messages to them in that moment, and also high vibrational frequencies. So this was, I've sat where you have sat and admired my friend who was just a beautiful channel. And at the time when I reached out to Catherine, obviously, like I said, we were used to be dancing in raves, and the next minute I look on Facebook, Catherine Henshaw, psychic medium. I was like, where's that come from? And there was, in part of me, when we look to someone else, we can either be jealous or we could be inspired by them. And in my head, in that moment, I looked and I went, if that is possible for you, that is possible for me. And I did all the work that I possibly could to try and get myself to where Catherine was. And that is how we are here today now.
So just wanting to share with you, okay, we are all channels. We all have the ability to channel our higher selves. We all have the ability to speak in light language. Many